Hey Libra, welcome to Wild Pearl Tarot. Today we're going to be doing a timeless reading for you about love, life, and career. We'll see what comes through. We're going to be asking the question, what's coming towards you? What do you need to know about? And we're going to be starting with Oracle. If you've never been in my channel before, welcome. Thank you so much for giving it a chance to see if it's a fit. This is a really loving and active community here, so feel free to reach out, say hi, introduce yourself, especially if you'd like folks to pray for you. It's kind of this thing we do here as part of my spiritual practice. Simply say hello or leave an emoji if you're shy. And it gives us something that we can focus on that represents your energy. So we start with a message, I am courageous and powerful. That's pretty rad. All right, so, and this is from the Divine Feather Messenger deck. What's coming towards my Libras? What do they need to know about at this time? If you guys haven't already yet, please consider liking the video, even subscribing if you find that this resonates and you want it in your life more. We have the message of the White Eagle. Wow. The connection to divine guidance is within you. Wow. So you have quite strong, the eagle is a strong totem. Very courageous, powerful. Let's get one more Oracle card to kick it off, and then we'll get into tarot. What's coming towards my Libras? What do they need to know about at the time of viewing this? All right. Bountiful nature. Spending time in nature helps shift you to a higher vibration and reminds you of God's infinite abundance. Go outside and enjoy a walk or hike with your pet. Meditate beneath a tree, garden, sit under the stars, or do some other activity to connect with the limitless vastness. You know what's interesting is that I just did a reading for you not long ago, and another timeless reading, but it was all about preparing yourself for something. I mean, all the Oracle cards were like basically prepping you, like get things ready, organize yourself, get ready for what's coming in a really positive manner. And this is very, there's something kind of sincere and noble about this energy. It's very strong and it's about reconnecting to strength. So let's see what tarot has in store. Of course, be real with you guys, with yourselves, you guys. Not every reading is for every Libra, of course, right? So only take what empowers you. That's the whole purpose of these, is to empower you, to comfort you, and to help guide you. Introspection, spirituality. One's turned around and it's Hermit. That's funny. Perfect for you. What do my Libras need to know? We're only taking the cards that fly out and volunteer their energy. This is a conversation, and so we don't force anything. What do my Libras need to know? All right, sweethearts. We got to start. Now I'm going to give you an idea of where the energy is going, and then we'll unpack it from there, okay? I'm loving about the messages, but I'm going to be pretty direct. I don't want to waste your time, and I don't want any guessing involved with too many fluffy woo-woo words. You know what I'm talking about. It's like, what the hell are they talking about? We know that this metaphysical world can get that way. All right, you guys, this is a very interesting energy. There's a strong storyline coming through, and this is very linear, and I'll tell you what I mean. We start with a sense of, no wonder your Oracle cards are so like noble and courageous and reconnecting to your strength. We start actually in a place where this is kind of maybe feeling, grieving a loss, maybe even having some regrets, feeling a little weakened off of your foundation. And maybe there was some deception, something like, it didn't have to be like somebody stole your car, and it didn't necessarily have to be somebody cheated on you. But the deception is like, it can be the wool being pulled over your eyes, just not seeing a detail that was there all along. It could be denial. You get the feeling, right? But then we do have a turnaround with the Lover's card and the Sun card. The Lover's card is Gemini energy. Oftentimes there's a choice attached to this. It can also mean, of course, like harmony between you and another in a relationship. We have the Sun card, which is undeniably a very, very happy card. So I like to deliver good news. And there is such obvious good news in your reading so far. We leave kind of a depleted and weakened and kind of sad place, and we go towards the light. So let's unpack this and get some more storyline and understand why the heck these cards are coming out. So why Five of Cups for my Libras? This could be something that was in the recent past. This could have been about somebody. This feels like this could have been about reciprocity and really wanting more from a relationship, wanting more from somebody. And there's a sense of disappointment there. And I think there's this moment where you touch down on feeling weakened by it. But then the quick turnaround, I think, one sec. I don't want to speak too soon. So you got this storyline popping out. Okay. Son of Swords. Cool, you're moving on. Good for you. Okay. If they fly out in reverse, that's how we read them. Wow, this is cool. Okay, so basically you're feeling this disappointment around another individual, or just being kind of let down in the emotional world, feeling that there is some imbalance there. And I think for a quick moment, you could have allowed it to really kind of get to you. And I say that because I don't think it lasts long. We have you leaving something behind with the Eight of Cups. And there's a sense of you would rather go towards the slower but steady offers than something that sweeps you off your feet into la la land. And so if this was, because you guys are all going through different things, but the energy is the same, I'm going to read it to you in two different ways. If you're like, hey, Wild Pearl, this is not even a relationship reading for me. Like I'm in a happy relationship. I'm not even dialed in that way. That's not resonating. I would say that this would be some kind of offer that it started out as potentially maybe something that could have really filled your cup. Maybe it was creative, or it was, it touched you in a way that was emotional and it let you down. It wasn't given back to you. And so then you're leaving that, you're not letting yourself be weakened by it too long before you kind of pull yourself up by your bootstraps and you start paying attention to the offers, the possibilities that might be slow. There might be a slow return of that pleasure or that maybe even if it's money, career, whatever, there might be a slow turnaround, but it's steady and it's sturdy and direct. And so you'd rather that slow but steady progress because you know that's the way, that is the solution. Now, if this is relationship, for a lot of you guys, it's going to be relationship. This, would be somebody who had the ability to get to you in a really charming way. And maybe they were a water sign. They could have been a Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer, but they just had that little charisma, something special about them. Maybe they were creative, musical. Maybe they were very dialed into their emotions and it made you feel safe, like you could approach them and kind of meet them on their level. And then I think there was a surprise there. I think it just wasn't giving back to you in the same way somehow. And so rather than letting it weaken your foundation for too long, kudos to you, you kind of turn around and you even maybe adjust what you're looking for. You say to yourself, I'd rather have somebody who's a little more practical than charismatic and floaty. I would rather have somebody who's a little more button up, maybe conservative, or a simple, direct, and predictable than somebody who's dreamy and creative. And of course, people span all sorts of personalities. There's not just those stereotypes, but just to give you an idea, because you don't want to risk that depletion again. And instead of this being really kind of a fearful choice, it feels very much eagle, it feels very strong. And then we move on to Seven of Swords, okay? And so this is really about foundation and how you move forward and trusting yourself and being solid as a rock. Really, you're going to be focused at the time of seeing this video on your own mental and emotional stability, your own financial stability, because here's the thing. Seven of Pentacles upside down. You feel that you've experienced putting way too much time and effort into things that never came to fruition, whether that was a relationship that I'm talking to you about, or for those of you who are not dialed in that direction, but you're really focused on career or your life balance, your foundation. Yeah, you're like, I'm not going towards dreamy, man. I'm not. I'm going towards the slow, steady, and sure thing. So now our energy changes in the reading, and let's find out a little bit more about that. The Lover's card, what is this for my Libras? Please be as helpful as possible. 10 of Wands. Okay. What else for my Libras? Yeah, this is kind of a big wake-up call. I feel that for a lot of you guys, this is not experimental. You're almost leaving an experimental place. And you're realizing, you know, it's really good to have experimental chapters in our life. And sometimes at the time that it's occurring, we don't realize how experimental it is. We only look back, and hindsight's 20/20, and we say, well, that was an interesting phase. So that's a phase. That's one of those scenarios that you're actually leaving. What you're going towards is a lot more reliable. And that is what your spiritual awakening, your judgment card is about. So we have 10 of Wands. I know a lot of you guys like to know the cards, so let me tell you. In clarity to the Lover's card, ruled by Gemini energy, this is talking about harmony and choices around that harmony, okay? And you are putting down this burden, a chapter in your life that, you know, you had to go through and you had to experience. And it was attached to the Magician. So this can be when the Magician is upside down. It can be kind of illusion. It can almost be a little trickery, you know, and it's not in an evil way, but it's basically, it can be, you've spent a chapter, a phase in your life getting swept up with the wrong things, a little bit of illusion attached to it, right? This would be like, as an example, this would be that boyfriend you had in high school, or that girlfriend that, you know, you were swept up by, or even in your 20s. It usually happens early in life, right? You're swept up by this character, but you don't see all the red flags type of thing. But you never forget them, and they always have a little place in your heart, but you also know what you want to avoid. And this is tying into some of your earlier readings. And I love it because it's actually, you're coming out of this place enriched. You don't stay at the bottom very long after this like disappointed place. I don't feel like you stick around in your regrets. I think you actually, on your own, regardless of this tarot reading, I think you naturally have that strength to be like, okay, I had to have that experience. And so now you're kind of moving towards the sun, and we're going to get some clarity on that right now. What's the sun for my Libras? Please make it clear, as helpful as possible. Haha, because you're breaking a pattern. So the Devil card comes out to allude us to the fact there's been a behavioral pattern that doesn't serve you here. And we all have them. We're like little robots, y'all. Like, we just walk around and we will continue some of the same patterns. Same relationship patterns, work dynamic patterns, unless we can actually see it. It's put right in front of our nose. And then we can see what we need to do, what we need to change. King of Swords. That is King of Swords energy. King of Swords is like the ugly, brutal king that's been through it all, lived through many wars, and is very black and white, not emotional, sees what they need to cut out, they see truth, their wisdom. These are great advisors as well. So they rule the air signs, which is totally appropriate for you. So all the swords are ruled by the air signs. So yeah, this is you breaking a pattern. This is a very positive reading, although it starts a little bit bittersweet, doesn't it? One more for my Libras, the Hierophant. This is about your commitments. So I have a feeling that if I could open up another deck and keep on going, we're going to get reconfirmation. This is reconfirming that this is about your commitments. It rules over institutions, belief systems, basically kind of that set of rules that us humans make around all sorts of things in order to keep life in place, because life is messy. So it's like, whether it's a certain religion or it's a group and a group of people and a belief system around that group, you know, Hierophant even rules over like rules and codes of conduct at work and institutions like that. This also rules over the institution of marriage. So you get the picture. This is basically, you're going into a very happy, joyful place because you're breaking a cycle with the devil, using your superpowers. Think of that white eagle, right? This strength of the King of Swords, mind over matter. Let's look at things for what they really are, seeking truth, because it's really about how you commit to things going forward. I love this for you guys. I hope it was helpful. Take good care. Mwah.